Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Just Another Guy on the Internet. And finally here we have another Minecraft map review. This time around we're going to be reviewing the SS Augusta Victoria made by Drash2005. And yeah, so we have another ship of the Hamburg America line here. The ship was launched in 1889 and is named after Wilhelm II's second wife. And also, another fun fact is that the ship actually did do some off-season pleasure cruises back in 1891. So, while it isn't the first ever purpose-built cruise ship, it did have it did do some cruises, so which is pretty interesting here, and actually some of the first cruises in the Mediterranean. So. And yeah, so it's a very interesting ship here. It's got 3 funnels, which is pretty unusual for the time period. You only really see 1 and 2 funneled ships, except for the Great Eastern, which by this time would have been scrapped, or just about to. So, and yeah, so this is the 2019 version as well. This is not the first and old version. Although it did get updated last month in April, so with some of the new Minecraft blocks, as you can see. So, pretty cool here. And yeah, so let's get into it here. So yeah, of course you got the bridge here. Signs are in German, of course, since it is a German ship. And of course you got your bridge wings here, you got your telegraphs here. So, anything you can usually find. And of course the bridge is completely exposed here, although the wheelhouse here kind of is in a little compartment here. It's pretty small here, as you can see, nothing too interesting here. And back here is kind of like a chart room or navigation room. So, you know, lots of dark woods here going on. And that's all that's really up here. You do have the compass that's right above the wheelhouse here. And then back here is just open deck space. You do have some skylights here. The skylight right here is over the first class main staircase. You got some vents here. They look very nice here. And of course you got 3 funnels, which is interesting that they don't have the black tops here. So I imagine that they would get quite dirty with soot and, you know, ashes from the boiler rooms. Kind of reminds me of the HMHS Britannic, which didn't have black tops. It just had the exposed funnel. So yeah, boiler casing, yeah, some skylights, vents, and yeah, and then also here you have the engine hatches. And more skylights here. And yeah, so let's go down to the bridge deck here, the Rücken deck. This is where you'll find the lifeboats here, as you can see. And yeah, so let's go all the way forward here, where we have the forecastle, which is gray, which is interesting. So, it's got kind of a little decorative piece here. So, this ship is very ornate, as you will see with the interiors. In fact, this ship right here is the one that introduced the concept of a floating hotel. So, yeah, a lot of these German liners had very ornate interiors. So yeah, forecastle with the breakwater and kind of the this type of deck design that you see with a lot of ships, like some of the White Star liners, like the Teutonic and Coptic, and then later the Kaiser class of Northern German Lloyd would also have something like this. And yeah, we kind of have a skylight over the steerage stairways, so we'll get to those later in the video. And yeah, so of course you got this deck house here, part of the superstructure, and we have the first cabin here. And this is the first class music room. So very nice here. Plenty of seating here. It's got kind of this dome that overlooks the two saloons. So very nice here. Got the little statues here, skylight with a chandelier, and kind of like a golden kind of ceiling, like a ceiling with golden accents. So very ornate here. If you want to get an idea of what some of these spaces look like, there are photographs available. So, and you will see just how grand and ornate some of these interiors got. So, very cool here. And yeah, I think this is like the music room, and then over here would be kind of like a ladies' room, according to the deck plans. And then, of course, you kind of got these entrances on each side here. Although you can also access the space directly from the staircase here. So yeah, music room. So, and of course with a piano. And yeah, so this is the first class main staircase here. It's pretty nice, it's got a mirror, clock, skylight. So, and you do have some seating here. Very nice. And of course it's got stairs leading down to the upper deck. And you do have a first class cabin. Now a lot of these cabins are pretty much the same, so this is kind of the style you would find. Two-berth cabin with a little wash basin. I like how you did the mirror here. So yeah, nothing too crazy there with the cabins. And on the other side is the captain's bedroom. Well, first this is the sitting room, and then the actual bedroom here. So no private bath or anything. So yeah, the captain's bedroom is connected directly to the staircase. And then you can't really head aft here. You either have to go down and make your way aft, or you can go out onto the deck here and head further outside. You do have the second officer here and the first officer. Again, nothing really too crazy here. And you do have stairs leading back up to the bridge. And I don't know what this is. Probably something to do with the actual boiler casing, since this right here is the actual boiler casing here for this deck house. You got some deck chairs here, very nice. Skylights looking over the first class hallways. So yeah, back into first cabin here. You have kind of the aft staircase. Well, it's actually kind of more towards the midsection here. But you kind of got this really small area here. It's pretty cramped, with some more stairs leading down to the accommodation. So no skylights or anything. It's pretty simple, but it does have a mirror here. And there's two cabins here. So again, pretty much the same style that you would find. And yes, so yeah, more entrances, more cabins. And this is also where you'll find the barber shop for first class. And you do also have the first class smoke room. So yeah, pretty nice room here. Skylight, of course. It's got a lot of paintings here, some mirrors. And it does connect to the other side here with more cabins and some toilets. And yeah, so heading aft, you got some staircases here leading back down to the upper deck. You got some windows looking into the engine casing. As you can see, it's not one engine casing, it's actually separate. So you have two separate engine casings, which is something that you see on other German liners, and also other lines like Lusitania and Mauretania had the two separate engine casings with the windows looking into them as well. And at the very back here you'll find even more cabins with some little skylights here. And it's got a very similar style to the Deutschland, which we reviewed in an earlier video. And back here is actually second class, so I would imagine there would be some type of gates here, you know, to separate first and second class. So let's see, you got cargo cranes and some winches, and second cabin. So yeah, this is kind of the main staircase entrance area for second class. You got two separate staircases here, and you do have the second class smoke room. Pretty nice style here, you know, it's not bad, with a skylight of course. And on the other side is the Damen Salon. So this is the second class ladies room. It's pretty much the same shape as the smoke room, except of course it's in a different style, and it's also flipped. So skylight again. So yeah, it's you know, very nice. It's not, you know, big, because back then usually second class was pretty small. So of course, Teutonic was launched the same year as this ship, and if you saw the second class areas on that ship, they were pretty small. So yeah, more stairs, mast, skylights here, and you do have some walkways leading to the poop deck here. And this is actually now third class, I believe. So you got kind of the docking bridge here. It's pretty small. It's not even an actual bridge. So yeah, some skylights. And here at the very back here with the Imperial German flag. Very cool. Again, kind of got this deck design here. So next up is the upper deck here. And he did kind of update the little supports here, which look different on the old version. I never actually downloaded the old version, but I saw it from the screenshots. And yeah, of course you got the nameplate here, very cool. It's pretty cramped here, as you can see. It is kind of a smaller ship, so everything's kind of tight and compact. In the forward section, you have crew. So yeah, just a lot of crew areas here, as well as some entrances for steerage here. So there are no actual accommodations for steerage on the upper deck, but there are the entrances, and of course this leads to the lower deck. So yeah, kind of like a workstation here. Again, my German knowledge is limited, so I'm not going to understand everything. This is kind of like a wash place for the ladies, and then the water closet for ladies. So pretty small here, and very basic. And you do have kind of the chains there, and a little ladder leading to the forepeak. And yeah, so more entrances for the steerage. Yeah, we've been through that. And back into first class, so here you have the actual entrances. So there would be the stairs alongside the hull, and they would lead up to here. And this is how first class would board the ship. On the old version, he did actually have the staircases added. I wish he kept that, because I always find the actual staircases pretty cool, you know, so you can board the ship. So yeah, you got a little bit of promenade space here. It's kind of narrow, but it is pretty long, so lower deck, yeah, so you got some stairs there. And back into first class, so of course you got the main staircase for first class here. We saw the top of it earlier, so it leads down here, and you do have the saloon here, so kind of the main dining saloon. Now this is the upper saloon. There actually is a lower saloon on the main deck here. So it's also, you know, very nice here. Plenty of seating here. Yeah, I got some paintings here. Clock, mirror. Very nice. Again, with the dome of the music room looking right above it. And it's also kind of got the little well here looking into the lower saloon. And you got some vents here. Alright, let's see. And then back here are the actual cabins here. And again, you have stairs leading down to the main deck. And let's see, so water closet for the ladies here. And you got more cabins, again, pretty much the same style as we have already seen. So yeah, more skylights looking down into the main deck. Kitchen. So this is the actual kitchen for the saloon here. With skylights, of course, for ventilation, of course. Kessel room, so this is the boiler room, so it's got a direct entrance to the boiler room for crew. So yeah, of course you got ranges, cupboards, so, and more skylights, of course. And so yeah, just more of your typical galley areas here, pretty much. And yeah, and there's the saloon right there. Yeah, so this is only for crew. Yeah, and then this just leads to more cabins, pretty much the same as the other side here. And you got some more kind of crew areas, got some stewards. And yeah, like the cook and the, I think the main steward. And here's kind of the other staircase here, the small one here in the midsection. And then over here you have a separate staircase with more stairs leading down. And this actually leads directly into the boiler casing. So yeah, kind of a same, almost the same style as the forward staircase with the flooring, which is very interesting, using note blocks. You have an entrance to the promenade, good, and more of these, you know, kind of laden air units. And more cabins, good. And more cabins back here, although you do have some engineer spaces here. Yeah, machinist. So yeah, second engineer. So a lot of engineer spaces here. And kind of got like a pantry area here, I think. And water closet. And bakery. And back here are these staircases here. Yeah. They lead down here. And a lot of mirrors on the ship. And yeah, more engineers. Bakery. Yeah. And this leads to the engine casing on each side here. More entrances here. And more skylights. And yeah, some more crew spaces. And some firemen here. And let's see, so this is for crew. You got the officer's mess here. Well, right here, yeah. Got some stairs, crew stairs. And this leads back into first class, yeah. Although, it is kind of the crew spaces here. Got more windows looking into the engine casings. And, yeah, pantry and water closet. And got some more stairs. And now we're back in second class. So this is the second class dining saloon. Again, you know, it's pretty nice. Although not as ornate as first class, of course. It's kind of got this whole thing going on here. And yes, of course, you got the long tables. Pretty typical for the time period. And back here is kind of the main staircase for second class. You know, you got the two separate staircases. And yeah, so some vents there. Some cabins here. So this is a typical second class cabin here. Kind of got the wood flooring in here. You know, it's not bad. Again, this is pretty much what you would expect for second class. for this time period. And yeah, so we got some more staircases that lead up to the bridge deck. And yeah, so more steerage areas down there. And underneath the poop deck, you got some crew areas, you got hospitals. To the lower deck there, and the water closet here, and also the steering engine, of course. And up next is the main deck, and this is now down into the hull. So let's see, yeah, let's go down the main first class staircase here. So this is actually where the main first class staircase terminates. It actually doesn't go down further because you have the boiler rooms. And this is the lower saloon here. To my knowledge, this was kind of like a private dining saloon. So, and of course, it does have the well that looks back up to the upper saloon and the music room. So you have a nice little skylight at the top. So, and of course, some of the later German ships would have something like this, although on a much bigger scale, in the actual dining saloon. And forward, you have, yeah, more cabins. Again, pretty much the same style here. And yeah, more cabins and some water closets here. And in the very forward section here are crew areas. And yeah, this leads back up here. So yeah, pretty typical crew areas. And then we have the cabins, yeah, and there's also cabins alongside the saloon here. So you have like a hallway with a cabin on each side here. And there's more cabins here. Yeah, the main deck has a lot of cabins. So be ready for that because there's going to be a lot of cabins here. So we can kind of fly through this because it's pretty much the same thing. And of course, on this level, you do have the watertight bulkheads. So of course, you are going to have the watertight doors here. Kind of breaking up the hallway. So you got cabins and then a bulkhead here. And this is also where this staircase comes down. And the staircase over here. So you got these staircases very close to each other, and that's because of they're in two different compartments. So if the door is closed and this section is flooding, the passengers have a way to get out of this compartment here. So yeah, cabins with some ventilation. You know, it could get kind of dark down here. And yeah, so cabins. And back here are some crew areas. So you've got the water closet for the men. And kind of a crew area here. Yeah, boiler room here. An entrance. And this is pretty much the same on the other side here, so we're not going to really get too much into it. You do have some bathrooms here, and more cabins. And yeah, so water closet. Kind of got this hallway here. Engine casing on each side. Wash place. Actually, yeah, it's nothing too interesting. It's pretty much the same thing here that we've seen. You know, kind of these white walls here. And some firemen. Heights are very cool. Which kind of spans two decks here. So again, the firemen are really more towards the stern section, which is different than some of the White Star Line ships. Although I do know Cunard also kind of did that as well on some of their ships. So yeah, a lot of crew spaces here. And now we should be back in second class. Yeah, this looks like second class here. Again, more cabins. Lower deck here. Stairs leading down to the lower deck. And yeah, so more second class with the kind of the main staircases here, which terminate at this deck. Watertight doors and bulkheads here, very cool. And yeah, more cabins, pretty basic here. And got some water closets and a 4-berth cabin. And back here is actually now steerage. All of the steerage in the forward section was actually down on the lower deck. There are no accommodation on the main deck, but in the stern here, there are steerage accommodations on the main deck as well. So, and you got kind of this interesting setup here where you have the saloon here in kind of the center section, and then on the exterior you have these dorms here. So, of course, very little privacy. So no like actual cabins with like 2 or 4 berths. No, there's a lot here. And of course there are the staircases here that lead back up. Yeah, so from underneath the poop deck here. And you have, I think, crew, right? Rudder machine, yeah, but down here would be crew because the beds are brown. And I think all the gray beds here are to represent steerage. And of course, this is at the very stern here. And then down here on the lower deck is pretty much steerage and crew. Yeah, so you got steerage here down on the lower deck. Again, very basic here. And yeah, a lot of beds here. And of course, all of these have staircases here, which go up 2 decks, up to the upper deck. And then, yeah, and in the midsection here, you have the boiler rooms, which span the full width of the ship here, with the coal bunkers on each side here. And there's 3 boiler rooms for 3 funnels. And here you can see the actual uptake. And what's interesting is that these boiler rooms aren't actually connected. So there's no like hallway here with some watertight doors. No, they're all separate. And yeah, so boiler room here, of course. Got the catwalks here with escape ladders. And then you do have the engine room here, which has the bulkhead dividing it into 2, which you do see on a lot of other ships, like Cunard's Campania, and some of the White Star ships, like Teutonic and Oceanic. And yeah, so got some engines here, of course, catwalks, and of course, the engine room is divided into 2, so then because of that you get the 2 separate engine casings here. And then back here you have the propeller shafts, and that was kind of more of the lower parts of the ship there, like the orlop deck. So on the actual lower deck here, yeah, behind all of the engine, all of the boiler rooms, you have crew spaces here. Kind of got some like workshop areas here, and some more crew areas. Yep, firemen. And some more steerage as well. Right. And kind of like a storage area at the back here. And underneath all of that are some cargo spaces. So, nothing too interesting. And yeah, guys, so that's the Augusta Victoria. All in all, it's a very nice ship here. It's a very good build. Definitely an improvement from the old version here. So yeah, if you're a fan of some of the German liners, this one is definitely worth checking out. So yeah, definitely recommend it. And I do look forward to some more work from him. And yeah, guys, so I think that's going to be the end of the video. Of course, do leave any suggestions or thoughts on the build in the comment section below. And yeah, so that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. So, bye for now.